The biggest thing is where we're standing. This is what is like. I don't think I gotta ask you, but I'm gonna ask you anyway because I'm gonna drill it in your head. What's wrong with this picture?
I'm I'm essentially like 1v4ing here, and that's not good. And the Hanzo's right there. You can one tap me. And
Like, look,
yeah.
what is this? What am I looking at? Like, look, everybody's looking at you. Like everybody, look at that. So as I said before the match, I want you to think about your priorities. This is just a good habit to get into. It doesn't matter really what role you're playing, just a good habit. But it really does matter on support because often it's about what your attention is going on. And so I think for the most part, like you answered it pretty good. You know, you had a Reinhardt when you first started. You said that they're going to need the healing because you have a Mercy. It's going to be hard to keep up. So your job is going to be mostly to just keep up your team, maybe help an Ashe on an off angle if available.
Yep.
That was perfect. So if you can just like narrow those down to like a couple things, like, okay, my attention needs to be here and here, I'm fine with that. It doesn't have to be super deep. You don't need to go through every character, you know, on the team and find out what your responsibility is there. It's just a couple characters here and there and you're good. Just your top priorities, the things you want to be thinking about. And then the same thing goes for the enemy team comp. So let me, I had this off. Let me fix some things real quick. All right, so if we look at the enemy comp, right, and I know this is going to change, but just a good exercise, let's practice it right now. If you look at team 1, this blue right here,
Yep.
who do you think your biggest threats are on the enemy team?
Um, Probably Widow or Soldier, just because they like pick me pretty fast.
Okay, and so why Widow?
Cause she can one tap you, and that's not good.
Okay, so yeah, and she beats you at range. You know, I mean, you kind of have a chance, but not. I mean, she's gonna beat you if she hits a headshot. You're dead. So definitely a big thing, and definitely Soldier. Yeah, that's it. That's all I really want you to do. I mean, if they had a monkey, you know, maybe you're concerned about that. You know, Diva even maybe, but just think about your biggest threats before the match, and because that's gonna affect your positioning. And so the biggest problem that I saw was your positioning. A lot of it's gonna be like pretty basic, simple stuff. And so you don't need to go super in depth to this, but to give you something to go off of for future, always be thinking about the enemy team is going to affect my positioning.
Okay.
So if they had, you know, sniper heroes like a Widow, how do you think that will affect your positioning?
Probably like play more like cover and try flanking the Widow maybe, if
Okay, and then why do you think that?
just because like she's pretty bad at close range sometimes, so I feel like that would be more effective.
Yeah, I think that you're on the right track. So you want to play shorter angles and try and play out of her LOS. And if you have an opportunity to flank her, sure. Just make sure that you have an opportunity, you know?
Yep.
And I think you already understand that because you already talked about, like when we went over your team comp, right? You have a Mercy, which means you're probably going to need to help with healing a little bit more.
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to let this play, and I'm going to stop it occasionally and just ask you a question, and then we can narrow it down. But definitely positioning. I will say the one thing I really liked is the damage output that you put out.
Oh, okay.
So I like that you're constantly trying to shoot kunais, even if it's just kind of spamming. That's fine. You know, get the damage out. That's what Kiriko's good at. You want to hit those headshots. Even if you hit a couple, that's good.
Okay.
This is fine. Yeah, like that's good. Like, good job prioritizing the Bastion. Obviously, he's low. What do you think's wrong with your positioning?
Oh, I'm in the wide open and against a Widow.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, no cover usage, right? I mean, this is not good.
Oh.
And Widow's right here. It's like, I know it doesn't seem like much because you're not being shot by the Widow, but this will affect your gameplay.
Okay.
Because these Widows may not be good now, but they will be later.
Yeah.
But it gets worse. So we're gonna talk about that.
Oh. Okay.
But this is good, right? We're healing when we need to. You see what just happened?
Yeah.
See how close that was to getting your head blown off?
Yeah, that was not good.
So, not good. So, where could we I'm having a stroke. Where could we be positioned?
Probably like right side next to the like corner here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just healing while field damage.
So, like, ideally, we want to be in a position that we're, like, out of Widow LOS, but we're also in a position that we can still shoot the enemy team, right? Because Kiriko, her damage is good.
Yeah.
And we want to leverage that. So this is okay, right? Because Widow's over there. We can maybe shoot Soldier. I'm fine with that. It's better than here.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah. We can also be positioned... not there. Maybe we go up high ground? Probably not here, right? Just because... What's wrong with this position?
Because you can't really shoot the enemy here.
Yeah, I mean, you can heal your team fine, but you're not going to heal bot the whole game.
Yeah.
But this allows us a flank here.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know, like, so if you had the opportunity, which I don't think you did this game just because, you know, Mercy Kiriko and your tank is a silver tank and they're going to take a lot of damage, which is okay. Nothing wrong with that. So this probably isn't going to be an option, but if it is, it's something to think about, right? Widow can't even see you here. So,
yeah, I didn't notice that.
just that's kind of what we're going to be looking at is I'm going to be asking you, like, where do you think you could have positioned differently? But right now, the biggest thing, like, first thing I noticed was, like, we got no cover usage. I mean, good Suzu, saving your life, but... Yeah, and this is fine. And, like, perfect, right? Like, this is all good. Like, I saw a lot of good, so you're in... You know, you got good potential here. And this is like, you would say this is average gameplay for you?
Yeah, but
okay. As long as this is like good average gameplay, I'm fine with that. What do you think's wrong with positioning?
I'm in the open again, not playing around cover.
Yeah. Like, you're lucky that no one's shooting you, but they could be.
Yeah.
And they will later in the rank, because especially as you get higher in ranks, you're gonna get targeted more and more as a support.
Oh yeah.
It's a blast. It's really fun. So this is all good though. Like our healing prioritization is good. You know, we heal who needs it, so that's all good. And your mechanics, by the way, are pretty good. Like
I thought they were pretty bad, but
no, they're pretty good. Like you hit a lot of really nice shots.
okay.
The thing about Kiriko is you're gonna miss a lot of shots. Like a lot. That's just the nature of Kiriko. It's okay. You know, you're not gonna be ML7 hitting 24/7 headshots, but even ML7, if you watch a stream, like an unedited video, he misses shots all the time.
Okay.
So like this is fine. You're doing good. You're hitting good headshots, like under pressure too. Like a lot of times later in the VOD, the Reaper jumps on you. You're under a lot of pressure, but you're still hitting your shots. At least some of them, which is good.
So.
Let me go back. So you TP, I'm guessing, to avoid
The soldier.
the soldier. Okay. Okay. So I think this is the right move now, but I want to talk about this because this happens later and it becomes a problem. What do you think is the potential problem with your positioning right now?
I'm not sure here.
Okay. I mean, look at it. Are you in a safe position?
Oh, it's extremely exposed now. It's hit, yeah.
You're well, extremely exposed, but also you're like right in the middle. You know, like you're in the team fight.
Oh, I see.
Like you're like right in it, you know. But this I think is the right decision for the situation you're in currently, and I think the later example will be better. I just want to get you thinking about it. But also, not much cover, you know, and we're just like literally surrounded by enemies.
Oh.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but again, I think this is the right call just because of the soldier. So I'm okay with this. But notice how like almost uncomfortable and lost it feels.
Yeah.
Like if we watch this back, like this is fine. You know, we're kind of a little bit further back behind our team. But then from here, it's like, oh my gosh, I have to look in all different directions. You know how many directions you have to look in?
Yeah, now I see the problem here.
So, and this does happen later, and we don't want that. We want to avoid that, especially as support, right? We typically want to be in the back.
Okay.
Because like, how could you be in the back now, but still take a good angle on the enemy. Like we look right now.
Probably like by the stairs, I guess.
Like go this way?
Oh no, others left side.
Oh, okay, so like over here.
Where the Mercy is right now, it just goes up the stairs maybe.
Like up here?
Oh no, others behind her.
Oh, these stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is better. Right? Why is this better?
Because it like gives you cover, and you can also like jiggle out and try taking shots.
Yeah, exactly. Now, and you want to be careful peeking this, right?
Yeah.
Can you? Actually, you might not be able to see my cursor. Can you see my cursor?
No, I can't.
Ah, I gotta figure that out. I do it every VOD, every single VOD. Okay, who on the screen do you think you should be careful peeking?
Hanzo.
Yes, right. It's the same thing with a Widow. Any sort of sniper like characters are going to be terrifying for supports. I mean, they're terrifying for everybody, but you get my idea. So yeah, this is a good position. What else is so? Not only do we have cover, but we also can peek the enemy, but we also only have to look in one direction. Yeah, and that's a good thing because we don't want to get lost like mid-fight. That just makes it feel more hectic. And the nice thing about support is that you can see all of it happening, and it allows you to make the best decisions.
Oh yeah.
Now, often on Kiriko, you're going to be going for flanks. That's different. So, if you had the opportunity to go for a flank, where could you go?
Probably like right side, where you like go climb the window and just go through that hole, maybe.
Like up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could flank all the way around. This feels kind of long, right?
Yeah.
And so to me, it feels long to climb up, go all the way over here, and then get behind him.
Okay.
And so the problem with that is, while you're gone, like your whole team's gonna be taking damage.
Oh yeah.
So where's another flank? And I guess flank's not the right word because it doesn't necessarily have to be a flank. Where's an off angle that we can take?
Probably like on the like circle thing up there. I don't know. It's
What about?
oh right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see.
Yeah, just up the stairs. And the good thing about this is it doesn't take very long. It's an off angle, and oftentimes with Kiriko, you're not like needing to go and flank, right? You don't need to get behind them.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes, sure, sometimes you can, but oftentimes it's just like, okay, here's my team, right? They're all playing main, right? And wherever the majority of both of the teams are playing, that's considered main. So if the majority of the teams are playing up here on these stairs, this is now main. Okay. And so basically, this is main now. You can't see my cursor. I keep forgetting. This is main.
Yep.
So take an off angle. Go over here.
Okay.
You know. But yeah. Again, we talked about you don't have the opportunity right now because of the healing.
I felt like I just couldn't really do much like aggression here, just because like my team was taking a lot of damage. But yeah.
That's fine. I think you made the right call. You know, not every game are you gonna have the freedom to go off and do flanks or off angles, and that's okay. You know, so I think the way that you played it is really good. A lot of spam damage, which is fine. Healing your team, sure, that's great. The only thing I'm concerned about is your positioning. I don't know how that Hanzo didn't hit you. Okay. He shoots tree trunk logs. He should have hit you. Anyway, yeah, like I'm fine with all this.
That's the spot.
Let me watch it back real quick. Good job on your diva getting that. And you TP up because you want to help her. This is fine. Yeah, this is okay. I'm okay with that. What do you think's wrong with your positioning?
I'm in the open again.
Yep. In the open, no cover, right? What do you think I'm going to see if I turn around?
A couple enemies.
Right. Why do you think that? How do you know that the enemies are going to be there?
Because they're like respawning, and that's usually where they come from. Right.
And so you don't want your back turned to the enemies. Now, there's a good chance that these guys are the only guys alive on the enemy team. Yep. So I think it's fine. Yeah, I think we're fine. You know, I mean, this is a concern, but you didn't know about that. So I think this is fine. I want you to be careful about this because this like screams, oh my gosh, Like I'm stressed.
Oh, okay.
Like, oh my gosh, like when I see you like walk up here, I'm like, okay, I'm freaking out. I'm stressed, you know, because all I'm thinking is who's behind me. But you're lucky
Oh.
enough that no one's behind you. Well,
I see.
other than these guys. But again, we didn't know about those guys, so we're not going to worry about that. Other than that, like minor positioning mistake, I think we're okay.
What's up? I'm on fire. Activating self-destruct
Yeah.
sequence.
What do you think's wrong with your positioning?
I'm in the open again.
All right. All right. Perfect. What else do you think is wrong with your positioning?
I'm out in front of the tank.
Yeah.
That's
A little bit too aggro, you know? So where could we be positioned that's a little bit better?
probably like where near the bastion is. Just like in that little room.
Yeah, this is fine. I mean, because you get good cover. The only thing that's concerning here is that the travel time it's going to take for your healing papers, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And so is there a position that we could take that's a little bit closer? Like, we don't want to be super close, right? Because we still want to have some distance, especially if they have, like, dive heroes.
Probably like the ramp where it's going up by the left side. Yeah, here.
Yeah, like, this is safer. We can peek out a little bit, you know, kind of pop some shots out. We can also go over here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think that's fine. What do you think is good about this position?
You can also shoot at the enemy here then.
Yeah, and you have cover. And then, if you have the opportunity, check this off angle out. You know? Do you see how good that is?
Yeah.
Like, that's really good. You really want to be looking for these angles if you have the opportunity. So, yeah, that's the only thing I'm concerned about. Like, literally just a little bit of a better position, and I think we're in the golden. Because, like, here, you know, we're healing, we're damaging. Fine, that's great. We just position a little bit better, and I think we're off to a really good start.
Alright.
Nope, we're not playing Diva. That's not you. But yeah, and then again, it's like we're like in it. Like, we're literally in the fight. Like, literally in the fight. You know?
Yeah.
Like, we want to be a part of the fight. We don't want to be in the fight.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
Like, look, you know, again, we have to look multiple directions. So, like, why is this Diva not shooting you? Why is this, you know, if I was this Life Weaver, I'd be pulling out the Thorn gun and, you know, shooting the crap out of you. Also, another position to think about, you know, you can position on high ground.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because you can still heal your team from here. And the good thing about high ground is the cover is your floor, right? It's the floor. So all you have to do is back up. So that's another good position. And, like, this, you can see everything. Like, look how exposed these guys are. You know, these guys could die easily. So, nothing too big. Just, like, positioning, and I think we're off to a really good start. Yep. And, like, we didn't know Hanzo was there, so that's okay. You know, I didn't know Hanzo was there, so I wouldn't blame you for that one. Yeah. And not much we could do here. I know we get out, which is good. So, the only thing I'd be careful about is you don't want to get staggered here. And so, the only thing that I'd be worried, right, is like if you're trying to get out, oftentimes, right about, you know, when I see this, you know what I'm saying? Like, 3 enemies, your team's dead. You know, it's just you and Mercy. And maybe you didn't know it was just you and Mercy. Did you know?
Yeah, I did. It was just
Okay.
amazing.
So if you did, that's perfect. The only thing I'm concerned about is it might have been a better decision. Now, luckily for this situation, you did get out. But it might have been a better decision to just let yourself die. That way you're not staggering. Because what happens if you TP out and you die right here?
Oh, then, I won't be able to, like, help with the team fight until later on.
Yeah, like you're going to get staggered. Do you know what staggered means?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to die late. And it's going to, you know, oftentimes it's silver. Your team's going to push in without you. Like, you know, and there's not much you can do about it other than don't get staggered.
Yeah.
But you got out, so I'm okay with it. Can't argue with the results. Like, beautiful, you know. Good Suzu. I'm surprised you didn't die there, but that's fine. Just something to think about. Is everything making sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Like I said, I don't want this just to be me, you know, yelling at you, telling you what to do.
Oh, yeah, good.
Okay.
Thanks. Let the Kitsune guide you.
So the first ult that we did, I was okay with. What do you think about this ult?
I think it's okay just because, like, it allows us to, like, use the ult while still pushing the card.
Okay. Do you see where your ult ends?
Oh. I see.
You know? What do you... Okay, you said you see. What do you think the problem is?
It's too close to the us and not close enough to the enemy.
Yeah, right? We want to be able to use the ult to actually... Like, I'd be okay if you, like, popped it as you get to the corner
Yeah.
and it stretches out this way. You know, because we want to use it in the team fight, not just to get to the team fight.
I thought it went a little farther, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's good knowledge, right? It goes far. Like, this is a long distance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all the way back here to all the way up here. Now, your team can still use it. You know, your Ashe is not going to be positioned way up here. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, it doesn't need to reach up here. It's still going to help your Ashe. It's still going to help, you know, your, I mean, your Echo probably not, because, well, maybe, right? So, it's not a terrible ult, but it could be a little bit better. What's something that you think about when you actually use your ult? Because I want to make sure that we have the right mindset when we're using it.
I just use it to, like, when it's like an even team fight. I just try, like, shifting it in our favor.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good, like, use of it. Because it doesn't really counter anything.
Yeah.
So, you know, if a team fight's going on, use it. So I'm okay with the timing. I'm not okay with the positioning.
Okay.
So I would have liked you to just walk up a little bit further and then use it. That way your Reinhardt gets a little bit more use out of it, right? Because we want to, like, maximize the value we can get with it. So, like, right now our DPS can use it, but it's not going to do much for our Reinhardt.
Okay.
But the timing is great. You know, we started a team fight, sure. And you can kind of see, like,
Oh.
what happened with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And another problem is, it's like, it was too early, and so it was way too easy for the enemy team to just kite it. Do you know what kiting it means?
No, I don't.
Basically, just back away from it.
Okay.
You know, and avoid it completely. And, like, we don't want that. We want, like, mid-team fight, we use it, and then they're stuck with it. You know, but right now, because it was, like, almost pre-fight, like, even this Bob is too early, but we're not coaching the Ashe. But it's too early, you know? We want the team fight to happen, and then we want to use it. And that's the only other thing I'd say about it. The first one that we did, I was okay
My
with.
senses are sharpened.
What do you think's wrong with your positioning?
I'm in the open again.
Yep. What else?
Oh, I'm the only one. I'm in the fight again.
Yeah, you're in the fight, right? So where could we position? I know we already talked about it, but I'm going to drill this in your head.
It's like the blue crate with the mini.
Yeah, right over here. Now remember, positioning is going to change. It's not always one spot. Okay, so like this is a good spot, but it's not always going to be a good spot. Does that make sense? So you need to be thinking about where your team is and where the enemy team is and position accordingly. And so typically some good rules to follow is we want to be behind the team. We want some sort of cover. And we want to have a decent angle on the enemy team, which could mean an off angle if you have an opportunity, right? Because we talked about this. Now, would this be a good off angle right now?
No, because Orion's like right there.
I think you're getting replay code goofed.
Oh.
Because remember, you're a red team.
I know. Then yeah, that would be a pretty good one. I thought that was the enemy Ryan.
Yeah, no, I did that first too. Don't worry. If this was the enemy Ryan, not a good position, right?
Yeah.
But right now, I think it's pretty decent. You know, you're behind the enemy team. You can support like at least some of your teammates, and you got good angles on the people that you want to shoot. So this is also a good position. This is also a decent position. This is also a decent position, right? You know, this might be a little too far. If you're playing Ana, I'd say perfect. I'd be like, that's a juicy spot right there. But you're not. So,
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
okay. And why do you think you died?
Because I was out in the open.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Hanzo headshot, so even if you had cover, even if you're playing here, You know, cover's not going to save you from that. Cover saves you from getting 2 tapped, not 1 tapped.
I
But
see, I see.
but still out of position.
Okay.
And you get rezzed. This is so unfortunate.
I didn't think I could add time to get out, so I just tried killing him, and I just missed all my shots.
Okay. I think I'm honestly fine with you going for the shots. It's a high risk, high reward play. But if you kill him, that's fantastic for your team. So I'm okay with this. The only thing is, I might just start backing up a little bit, you know?
Oh.
Because you can definitely get out, you know?
Oh, yeah, right.
So it's like, it's not, I guess it's not even really a high risk, high reward, because it's kind of low risk if you just play it a little bit smarter.
Okay.
So it's low risk, high reward, which is a great play for any support player. Right? Low risk, high reward is fantastic. Because you want to keep your life as support, because you are the glue that holds the team together. But if you can get a high reward play like killing an ulting soldier,
Yep.
beautiful. So I think I would have just backed up, you know, a little bit better cover usage, and that will come with practice.
Okay.
I have a feeling the reason that we don't have good cover usage is because we're not usually playing next to cover.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
So, so it's just a skill that you're gonna need to learn.
Okay.
All right, our team staggers a little bit here.
Let me balance you out.
I remember this. This is like that right there is what annoys me so much. It happens in all ranks, I can tell you.
Wait, what happened? I'm not sure.
Oh, so your team is still regrouping, okay? Because see this guy,
Yep.
right? So you're not at a 5 versus 5 yet. You're at a 4 versus 5, and your team is pushing. That's not good. Now it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in all ranks. I don't care. It happens in my GM support games. So, yeah, you'd think it wouldn't, but it still does sometimes. But the thing that frustrates me is look at your Brig.
Oh.
She died. That's terrible. You should never die while you're still regrouping, because that means you now have to wait another, like, I don't know what the respawn timer is, but you're gonna have to wait more time to actually get grouped up together.
Yeah.
Now, a good rule of thumb that I like to follow, and if you've seen my other coaching sessions, you might already know this. If your team is going to push,
Push with them.
yeah, push with them. Push with the majority of people. So if you have 4 people pushing and 1 people in spawn, okay, like right now, right? You had 1 person in spawn. It was the soldier. You have 4 people pushing. I'm okay with you to push with them, because you can't force them not to push. Now you might be able to make a comm call and say, hey, can we regroup? But that might not always work, and it might not be something you're comfortable with. I don't really know. But at the end of the day, you can't force them to do anything. So if you see multiple people on your team pushing, just try to play with them. It's the best option. Now, if you see 1 person pushing, but 4 people not pushing,
Then you just
let them die. Yeah, they're an idiot.
Okay.
So play with the majority of your team. It's a tough decision to make, but it is one that you're just going to have to deal with. And oftentimes, if you take a 4v5 and you lose, don't be frustrated about it. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, you can't force your team. Be like, no. You know, you can't Maywall them off and just stop them from pushing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You want me to nitpick this or not?
Go for it. Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think you need TP here?
No.
No? Why not?
Just cause like I can heal from a range too.
Yeah.
But
And what can you not do from here?
shoot the enemy.
Yep. What can you do from here?
The enemy.
Okay. Now, I don't want to nitpick too much, because I think the thing that we really need to work on is positioning.
Yeah.
But if there's opportunities to set you up for the future, I'm gonna do it. You know, don't waste your TP.
Okay.
Because especially if you're going against a team that is targeting you, like a dive team, you know, you need that TP.
Okay.
So, you want me to nitpick even further?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. What do you think is wrong with your positioning?
I'm in the open again.
Okay. That's all I'm gonna say. Perfect. I think we're good. We're good to go. This is good damage. What do you think is wrong with the Kirikos on the enemy team's positioning?
She is also in the open.
Also,
She's alone.
look at our aggression compared to our team.
Yeah.
Like, the majority of our team is back here. The Hanzo too. I mean, this is Silver is whack.
Yes.
But you know what? All that means, and it's funny. I hear a lot of people complain about this stuff. Like, oh my gosh, Silver is so crazy and hectic. All it means is you have more opportunities to kill people. Look at this guy.
Oh.
This guy's an idiot. Okay? This guy's a fool. He should not be here. He should die. So don't think of it as, oh my gosh, it's Silver. My teammates are idiot. Think of it as my enemies are idiots, and it gives me more opportunities to carry.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Like this guy. Come on. What is he doing? You know? So more opportunities for you to just be like, boink, dink, dink, kill a Kiriko. Then you guys win the team fight easy.
All right.
Look at that. Beautiful. You said your mechanics aren't good. Come on now. And like, look at the diva. Like, do you see how aggressive she's going without the team? Like, easy, right? And so as long as you're playing even just slightly better than them, you're gonna rank up. You're fine. Like, and how do you play slightly better? What have we talked about?
Positioning.
Yeah. Don't die. Don't do what they do.
Okay. Yeah.
And you're good. Because like, as long as this is your average gameplay and you're looking for this damage like you are, I'm fine with this.
All right.
Now, if because this is going pretty quick, so if we need to look at more, we can. Like, hopefully we can get like a VOD where you can actually take angles. But I'll leave that up to you because I don't know what your time restraints are. So.
I should be. Yeah.
Because it's only been.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I think less than an hour. So we can probably do like another quick one.
Okay. As long as you have the time, I'm fine with it. But,
Yeah, no, I should be okay today. I got a little bit of editing to do, but I'll be fine.
all right.
My priority is to get you ranking up.
Okay, yeah. That's my priority too right now. I'm trying to get out of silver.
Yeah.
But,
And what's our short-term goal?
gold.
Perfect. Focus on that first. And then guess what happens? When you get to gold,
Hit plat next.
right, get to plat. But then you're going to have to learn more.
Oh yeah, shoot.
And so don't forget that. And this is a big thing that a lot of people miss. If you're going to rank up in Overwatch, you're going to need to be a constant learner. Find out what you're missing. Find out how you can change it. And there are, you don't always have to get coaching. There are resources out there that can help you.
Okay.
Hopefully my channel does. But even if it doesn't, there's other channels out there that can help you. So use it, Always be a learner and be objective about your gameplay. It's hard. It's really hard. But the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yep.
Don't let up. We don't have much time.
What's wrong with your positioning?
I'm in the team fight and in the open again.
Yeah. So like this one's not very difficult, And you don't need to be on cart. Like this is something I really preach to supports. And I know, like, I always hear the answer, well, my teammates don't do it. Well, they will, And if they aren't, sure, you can get on cart. But your teammate, they are. You get off cart, You don't need to be here. So
It's just force of habit for me, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I get it. I used to do it because I was like, I don't trust my teammates to get on cart. But then I looked back at my gameplay and I saw that they were on cart and so was I. I'm like, well, what am I doing? Like, I should be positioned safer as a support.
Okay. Yeah.
And so where could you be positioned?
Probably with the Ash on the high ground.
Yeah. Do you have cover?
Yep. The
What-
floor.
Perfect. Look at that. And if you didn't know, you can, even with a hero that doesn't have any sort of climb, you can jump on these boxes, get all the way up here, and get on top of the ship.
Oh, that's how you. That's how you get up there. I did not know that.
Now, this isn't always the best position because you can't really heal your team from here.
Yeah.
But with that said, look at the angle you have.
Yes, an insane off angle. You can just get
Yeah.
hella pressure.
And then check this out. Look at from their perspective.
Oh. Yeah.
That is painful. it's a pain to get people off of there. So I wouldn't necessarily do it now, but it's something you could think about.
Okay.
You know, like what I like to do is if I'm playing Ana and we're on defense and my team is holding forward, so like they're holding up here, you know, which doesn't happen often, but sometimes, or maybe they're holding up here. I play up here. This is a beautiful spot. Enemy comes out these like doors right here. You can't see my cursor. That's right. Enemy comes out these doors. You get easy nades. It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah,
So something to think about.
Let the kitsune
What do you think about your ult?
I think it was okay, just cause like it was a counter ult, and I feel like the team could use it.
Yeah, I think they can use it here. I think it's fine. I mean, I wish the placement was slightly better, but you know, because of your positioning, it's hard to place it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, how else are you gonna place this from where you are?
Like towards the Orion, maybe. Like
Yeah,
Towards Cart.
Yeah, yeah. You could throw it underneath cart. I think it goes underneath it. So, does it? I think it does.
So.
I really hope it does. We might have to test that. But yeah, you could do that. So maybe you could, but you know, even if you're up here, you could throw it off this ledge and it will drop down. And this would be a much better position. But with that said, what do you think about the timing?
The timing? I think it was. I mean, it's mid-fight, so I think it was okay.
Yeah, I think it was perfect.
Okay.
Yep. So the biggest thing is where we're standing. This is what is like. I don't think I gotta ask you, but I'm gonna ask you anyway because I'm gonna drill it in your head. What's wrong with this picture?
I'm essentially like 1v4ing here, and that's not good. And the Hanzo's right there. You can one tap me. And
Like, look, what is this? What am I looking at? Like, look, everybody's looking at you. Like everybody, look at that. Diva, Soldier's looking. Wait, what? Why does the arrow say he's looking that way? Where is he looking? Oh no, he's looking this way. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's looking at you. Now, if you're a tracer and you're flanking, yeah, everyone's looking at you. That's great.
Okay.
You're not. Okay. All right. You know, and like it just feels so uncomfortable, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
But if we watch the team fight, like, look at this. You see how easy this is? You know, you can see everything. You're like, okay, Diva's over there. You know, Soldier's over there. Sure, this is easy.
Yeah.
Like your Ashe is smart. You know, good job on the Ashe. The only thing that I didn't like is their Bob timing. But also, that wouldn't have happened,
Oh, yeah.
right? You wouldn't have been in Dragon. And look at your Ashe. She's still alive.
Yeah.
And what happens if you're alive is your Rhine probably doesn't die. I mean, maybe he does. But better chances of not doing it. And it doesn't even have to be up here. It could just be these boxes and play cover here. You know, you could take an angle over here. Like, this is even better than where you were. Why is this better?
Because you can shoot as like an off angle, and you can just heal from there.
Yeah, shoot, heal, and... What's this
And
big thing I'm looking at?
like climb up it and get an off angle.
Just cover.
Oh, cover, yeah.
Yeah, right? That's your checklist. Can I heal my team? Check.
Yeah.
Can I shoot the enemy?
Yep.
Check.
And
Do I have cover?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that that's like a really simple way to put it? It's more nuanced than that, but for the most part, that's a good start.
Okay.
And don't worry, I'm gonna at the end of the session, I'll write down like a list of things that we want to work on, and any other important information that we could, think about. Okay, but I will say, I know I've been harping on you about your positioning, but your damage is really good. Your healing priority is also really good. So everything I'm seeing is like pretty good.
Okay.
So don't take this as me just bashing on you. You're doing really good.
Oh no, this is really helpful, so I wouldn't take it that way, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Some people do. Some people are okay with me being a little bit more harsh. Some aren't.
Yeah,
So I'm just trying to gauge.
It's fine that way. I don't really mind. As long as it's helpful, I don't really care.
Yeah. Hey, that's my goal. That's the job. That's my job. Be helpful.
Watch your flanks. They might try something.
Many find the universe confusing. That's the beauty of it.
What do you think about your positioning?
It's too forward, but I have an excuse for this one. I want to get like some shots off and then just like swift step out. I don't think I did that, but that was the plan.
Okay. Well, do you think that that's a good plan?
Yeah, I can get ult charge and do some damage maybe.
Yeah. I think it's pretty fine. Because if we go through our checklist, can we shoot the enemy?
Yeah.
Do we have cover?
Oh, yep.
What's the one thing we're missing?
Heals.
Okay, but do you need to heal your team?
No.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, your team's not going to take damage in the first 2 seconds. I mean, I hope not. So, yeah, this is great. I'm okay with this. I was really happy when I saw this because this is like the type of off-angle stuff that I want you to see, or I'd want you to do if you had a little bit more healing on your team. Actually, look at your comp.
Oh, we have a BAP now.
Yeah. So, remember, always be checking.
Okay.
What's the problem?
The Hanzo.
Yes, that's it. That's it. That's all I'm worried about. That's
Okay.
literally it. This Hanzo, when they get better, you're dead.
Oh.
So be careful. That's the only thing I'd be worried about. As soon as I see that Hanzo, I'd be like, okay, I'm out. Because it's just not worth the risk at that point.
Yeah.
It's like risk versus reward, right? It's not worth the risk to peek Hanzo because you could just one-shot dead. Now, if it's a soldier or an Ashe or something like that, sure, go for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So like snipers. That's the thing I want you to worry about.
Okay.
Snipers are a big deal. They're going to change how you play. You're not going to be... You got to be careful when you're peeking them. That's it.
Okay.
What's the problem with our positioning?
I'm in the open again.
Yeah. What's improvement though?
I'm in the back this time.
There we go. A little bit better, right? So that's good. So you're not always in the team fight.
Yeah.
Where could we be positioned that's better? Let me
Probably where the Mei is maybe, or where like the Torb is. One of those 2 spots.
Yeah, I think both of those are fine. And if we had known that we had a Baptiste, where else do you think we could be positioned?
Right side where you could like get a flank off.
Yeah,
Like,
even if it's just an off angle, like maybe at these boxes, an off angle doesn't have to be like super far, It doesn't have to be like way over here, like, oh my gosh, off angling, It could literally just be like a little bit over. So I think this is fine. You could even like here.
Okay.
This is kind of weird. Maybe not the best. You can't really see much.
Yeah, but I see. Yeah.
Climbing up here, this is a little bit of a...
Too aggressive, maybe.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Why would you say it's too aggressive?
No, cause like you can't really heal your team from here, and it's I don't know. It's like you can get punished pretty easy, I'd say.
Yeah, I would agree, but this is what Kiriko's good at.
Oh yeah, right. The Swift step. I forgot about that.
Right. And so one thing that I'm thinking I want to make a video about because it's like really important but also really difficult to learn is when you are trying to learn a hero, if you examine their kit, oftentimes you can like almost decipher what she's good at and how you should be playing her.
Yeah.
And so because of Swift Step, you have a massive amount of mobility. So you can get away with things like this. Sometimes.
Okay.
Now, it is aggressive, and it is scary, it is risky, but that's what Kiriko does.
Okay.
But the thing to remember, and I don't want you to get carried away with this because a lot of Kiriko players do. The thing to remember is the only reason you could do this right now is because look at your team's health bars.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
They don't need healing. And the Baptiste, he can help.
Okay. Yeah.
So if we were to take this angle, this is fine, right? I don't want you to peek everyone.
Okay.
Right? I don't want you to stand right here because this is scary because who are you peeking?
Hanzo.
Yes, but what about this? What about
fine.
that Kiriko over there?
Kiriko, yeah.
What about...
I don't think I could get Life Weaver here.
You can get Life Weaver there.
Oh.
Hmm?
I see.
Yeah, you can come up with these boxes. Maybe shoot down. So it just depends. You just got to be thinking about these things. So when you take this angle, the only thing that I want you to be concerned about is one, that you don't stay too long.
Okay.
Because if you stay too long, eventually your team will need your healing.
Yeah.
So I would take some shots, try and get in a limb. Maybe when they start shooting you, you can back out. Or you could just, if you play here, like this cover, you take some shots. Okay, I'm going to go behind cover. I'm going to say, is my team good? Because you can see through the walls, right, with your team. And so, do you know about the coloring of your teammates through the walls?
A little bit, yeah.
So like you know that they change colors when they get lower.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so then you could go like this. I'm gonna take this off angle. I'm gonna take some shots. Okay, they're gonna start shooting back. I'm gonna go into cover. Is my team need healing? Oh, they're good. Okay, I'm gonna go back out. Or oh, they're not good. I'm gonna TP safely to my Baptiste and start healing.
Okay.
That's what I would be thinking about. But that is something that I would say that you should be thinking about for future, right? Because right now our biggest, most low-hanging fruit that we need to work on, yes. But I wanted to talk about that because that is going to be a big part of Kiriko's game.
Washed away.
What do you think about your positioning?
It's a little better, but
Mm-hmm.
still could be more covered based.
A little bit more. Well, you have a little bit of cover, right? Just because of the hill.
Oh, I can't shoot the enemy. I mean, yeah.
Yes. That's the only thing. So I think this is fine. Where could we be positioned?
Where the Torb and Bap are?
Yeah, up here.
Yeah.
You know, because you can still heal, you still shoot, you still have cover. You know, you got the floor and you got this thing. You know, even up here, I like to play up here a lot as Anna, but Anna's a little bit different. Right? This feels a little bit too far because if we want to get healing to our Sigma, right? Remember our papers have to travel.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is all making sense to you?
Yeah.
Perfect.
My gift to you.
Like this is good. You know, the only thing is now Sigma.
Yeah.
So this is a tricky situation, right? You know, do I TP to high ground to get some damage?
Yep.
Or do I help my Sigma? I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know. You know, it's a hard situation. I think it's pick your poison.
I think I would just help the Sigma here just because, like, the tank is important.
Yeah, I think instead of TPing, yeah, maybe you just help. Yeah. I mean, he needed the healing. If we go back.
Washed away.
And this might be a little bit, you know, something that might be a little bit harder to think about. But look at your Sigma. Do you see what he's doing?
Oh, he's
What's
using
that?
the grasp.
Yeah, so he's using Grasp, he used Shield, a lot, and Rock. A lot of his resources are out, but even simpler than that, he's backing up.
Okay.
And if he's backing up, I mean, think about what if you were playing Sigma. I don't know if you play tank,
No, I don't.
but that's fine. You know, this is something I'm still learning because I'm learning tank.
Okay.
But when I'm playing tank, and I'm using resources like that, either I'm an idiot, like this guy has full health, so maybe he is an idiot. But if I'm backing up, typically it means I'm under a lot of pressure. I need help.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe we see Sigma's backing up. Maybe we help him, and we TP or something. I'm not really worried about it. It's not a big deal. It's not a low hanging fruit that I'm going to be concerned about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we could go through this all day. We could be like, okay, you could get a pick here. Maybe you get a pick. Now you're up one. Maybe you win.
Okay.
But it's not a big enough deal that I don't think we need to worry about it. You know, this doesn't feel good.
That's tragic.
Not even because of your Suzu. Why do you think this doesn't feel good?
Oh, I'm in front of the diva and the
What do you think I'm gonna see if I turn around?
more than like two enemies.
Well, okay, at least they're semi in front of you.
Yeah.
But this is terrifying to me.
Yeah, I was just tunnel vision on trying to save the Sigma, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. That's fine. What do you think that you could have done better? Once, so obviously we talked about helping our Sigma, but we didn't know that.
What's that?
Once we're up here and we see, wait for it, we see this.
I don't know what I could have done here. It'd be like try healing before throwing Suzu, but other than that, I don't know.
Okay. I don't want to give you the answer because I want you to think about this one. So let me try and give you some like nudges in the right direction. How do I do you think that dropping down and healing your Sigma, if we're thinking risk versus reward, do you think it's worth it?
No, because there's a high chance I die too instead of in the Sigma.
Okay. So with that knowledge, what do you think the decision is to be?
either like wrap around and try helping him from like the backside, or just go like behind them and try saving him from there.
Yeah, I think wrapping around and helping is fine. He's probably dead.
Okay.
I think the only options here, in my opinion, and this might be controversial, but this is my job. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Just let him die.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not that complex. Just let him die. You're not going to get to him. You're not going to help him. He's dead.
All right.
So the only other thing that I would say to try and swing the fight in your favor is look at your positioning, look at the enemy's position.
Yep.
They are wide out in the open with you and a Baptiste right over them. So the best thing you can do to help your Sigma right now is to shoot them. Not the Sigma, but the enemy.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to heal him. But maybe you get a pick on Kiriko, Reaper, or do some damage to Diva. Now, if we're talking about maximizing value with damage, we want it on the squishies.
Yep.
So, other than that, you know, I think it's fine. I just don't like this. This is just not great. And, I mean, beautiful eat from Diva, but at the very least, we lived. So, that is good. Yeah, sometimes you got to think about, can I save them and also keep my life? Because I mean, I think the support's lives are always going to be more important than anybody other's life on the battlefield.
All right.
So,
yeah.
now, don't get me wrong, tanks and DPS are very, very important. They have a lot of value, and without them, you're screwed. But same thing with support.
All right.
Draw straight from nature.
What do you think about your positioning?
I'm in the open again.
Yeah. Hi, Cora. My cat. Hold on.
No worries.
Cora, I cannot have you up here. No. No, hold on. Okay. My bad. I'm trying to move things and yeah. I swear, this cat. I love her, but she is annoying sometimes. Okay. Let me go back because I was not paying attention. So your positioning here, not great. So where could we be positioned?
Probably like behind the boxes or on the high ground.
So like
Yeah, on this box. Yeah.
yeah, I think this is fine. Why'd you say this position?
Just because like you can peek out and like deal damage while also like peeking out other side and healing.
Yeah, it's an off angle, right?
Yep.
You know, most of your team's playing here, so an off angle is over here. You have a Baptiste to allow you to do it. Sure. You know, make it more uncomfortable for the enemy. The reason that you want to take these off angles is because if you're all standing here, the enemy team only has to look right here.
Okay.
You know, but if you're standing over here, this is so uncomfortable for them. Even if you're not hitting your shots, it's still pressure, you know.
Okay.
Even if you hit a couple body shots, it's like, oh, because now, from their perspective, they have to look here and look over there.
Okay. I see.
The problem is now, though, is that you're just out in the open. So it's like, you know, nobody cares. It's like, okay, I can just kill that Kiriko, whatever.
Yep.
Okay, Cora, get off. So, I think this is a good position. And you said where else?
Like where the May is playing, maybe. Just
Yeah,
like a-
this is, like, at least you have cover, but it's not ideal. Because of what we just talked about, right?
Okay.
Right, you have a Baptiste, you know, take the off angle.
Okay.
But in terms of, like, what I would want you to focus on, which would be your positioning, like cover usage specifically,
Yep.
I think this is fine. You know, you got cover. You back up.
Okay.
So, before we, you know, I don't want you to get overwhelmed with, like, you know, off angles and stuff.
Yep.
Now, if it's something that you're like, no, I get it, that's fine. Great. Go for it. Do it, you know? But I want you to make sure you're, like, focused on what you're going to learn. So we're going to be focusing on the low-hanging fruits of positioning.
Yep. Okay.
So, yeah, May is fine. What do you think about this?
I think it's okay because like I can still swing out to like kill the team while also dealing damage.
Yeah. It's a little risky, right? Kind of scary. Because it's a little aggressive. But what did we talk about?
I have the swift step to like, just get out.
Yeah.
and then-
And, like, you could easily go to your Sigma and be completely safe. Well, that's probably a little too far. You could go to your Baptiste and still be relatively safe.
Yep.
So, the only problem with this angle is it's going to take a lot of time for you to get here, which means they're going to be taking damage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's an option, but you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Because you want to think about the time it takes you to get to the angle. I know there's a lot to think about, and if I'm overwhelming you, just yell at me and say, hey, shut up.
Oh no, it's okay.
Okay. Look at that. Do you see that headshot?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You said your mechanics are bad. Come on now. Why do you think that's so good? Why do you think I'm so happy about a single headshot?
It adds pressure to like push him off me.
You see what he's doing?
He's backing off.
Do you see how many resources you just pulled from one headshot?
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
You pulled his Reaper Wraith, right? There's a
Yep.
cooldown. And he got pulled by Lifeweaver. That's 2 cooldowns that you got for using 1 ammo.
Yeah, I see
That's
that.
wonderful. Wonderful. That is a great, great pressure. That's what pressure is, right? We're taking resources from them. Now the Reaper cannot go in aggressive, and if he does, he's an idiot.
Okay.
Which, I mean, look at him. Let's be honest. What's wrong with your positioning?
I'm in the open and in the fight again.
Okay, where could we be? I'm having a stroke again. Where could we be positioned?
Probably like the high ground since we have a BAP that's healing.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, look at the other Kiriko. Right?
Yeah.
They're actually doing something smart this time. So this is fine. Like, you could be positioned over here. You know, you can still heal. You can shoot. You know, over here. Sure. You know. Where else could we be positioned?
Or like at the doorway maybe.
On the right side?
Yeah.
So like over here?
Mhm.
Yeah, this is fine. Not as good as high ground, but it's a little bit safer. So it's like this is a safer spot, but you don't get as much value. And why do you think that? Why do you think you would get not as much value?
Just because like you can do less. There's less opportunities for damage.
Yeah, you can't see as much.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think that's fine. I know I sound like a repeating record, but
I mean, I am doing the same mistakes over and over. So.
yeah. But also, like, at this point, I don't need to tell you what the problem is. I just need to help you practice how to fix it. That's why I'm asking you where you could be positioned better.
Okay. Yeah,
Right.
makes sense.
Now, remember, it's not just spots on the map. You know, it's not just, oh, I'm going to go to high ground, and this is my spot. It's not like that. It's dynamic. Where is the team positioned? Where is the enemy positioned?
Yeah.
Right? And you position accordingly. And what's one thing on the enemy team that's going to affect your positioning?
Like the comp,
What about it?
like if they have snipers or not, or if they have like dive heroes.
Perfect. Bingo. So how do you position against a sniper?
Just like more cover based and.
Just out of their LOS completely if possible.
Okay.
Right? You want to be able to be in a position where you're not being peeked by the sniper, but you can be peeked or you could shoot everyone else. So like right here, Hanzo can't see you, but you could shoot the Lifeweaver if he wasn't dead.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so here is a little scary because of Hanzo. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. And like with dive heroes, when you're playing Kiriko, it doesn't affect as much. Like if I was playing Ana, you know, and I'm going against dive, it changes a lot. But that's because I don't have mobility. I can't move as fast as a Kiriko can. You can as Kiriko. You can get out anytime you want. So the only way a dive comp is going to affect your playstyle is that you need to be saving your swift step to get out.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to set you up for future matches, not just this one.
Yeah. That
What's wrong with this positioning?
I'm in the fight and in the open again.
Yeah. Now, do you think this is an okay time to do this?
Yeah, just because like the diva's DMACing.
Yeah, and it's just Diva and Kiriko.
Yep.
Right? So I'm okay with this. I'm not really worried about this. You know, if you want to go in and help your team finish off kills, sure, but be careful, right? You don't want to die doing it. As long as you don't die, I'm happy.
Okay.
Oh yes, now we get to see the most wonderful, epic Kiriko 1v1 that I've ever seen. You want to watch this in slow-mo? You ready?
I'd rather not.
Let's do it. I'm going to do it anyway. At least 7.5. Ready?
Okay. Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at them both missing. I love it.
Oh.
That's Kiriko right there. That's Kiriko right there. Kiriko
Okay.
experience 100%. But look at those shots. You have good mechanics, so don't put yourself down.
Okay.
Now you have ult. So I'd be immediately thinking I should be ulting as soon as the time is right.
Okay.
Right? You don't want to hold on to ults for too long, especially Kiriko ult. You're not holding it for anything. You're not playing Lucio. You're not playing Zen, right?
Okay.
So, as soon as the fight goes out, you have a good opportunity. Do it.
Be healed.
And then what's wrong with our positioning?
I'm in the open again.
Okay. We already talked about where we could be positioned differently, so I don't need to talk about it. What do you think about that ult?
I think it was a bit early, just because like we're not in the fight, or they're like only 2 of them are engaging, or 3 of them.
Yeah, so Reaper is engaged. Kiriko's engaged. Diva's engaged. I think it's fine.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, like, it doesn't have, like, yeah, Hanzo is in spawn. Life Reaver, I mean, he doesn't look engaged, but what is he doing?
Oh, he's healing the team.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Right? And so, I think this is perfect timed. Looking back on it, I think it's great. And your positioning for it, fine. Maybe throw it a little bit this way towards your team, but I think it's fine.
Yeah. I see. Okay.
Right? Because, I mean, you're not trying to hit the enemy team with it.
Oh yeah.
Look at that Diva trying to eat it. No, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, I would say, like, maybe it's kind of going to depend, but with, like, a Sigma, you're kind of stationary, He's not going to be moving much. So maybe just throw it on top of him. But it kind of depends. I'm really not against this positioning, so I think this is a good ult.
Okay.
It's not a low hanging fruit for me that I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to fix that. It's good. It's good.
All
Great.
right.
So
Sometimes
also good kill.
It takes 2.
Good job forcing Kiriko step. You see what I'm saying? This is what your damage is doing. You see how many cooldowns you're getting out?
Yeah, I'm starting to
There's
see it
pull. So sometimes it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm getting kills. Sometimes it's like I'm forcing out resources, which is really good. That's what support's good at. That's why when you hit an anti-nade, it's good. It adds a lot of pressure. They can't be healed. Other resources need to come out. Everyone backs up. That's pressure. Same thing with Kiriko. You hit a headshot, Reaper Wraiths, Life Weaver pulls, bingo bango. You're good.
now. All right.
Good, Suzu. I mean, your Mei is, like, fearless.
Yeah, I was. They was kind of interesting to play with. To say the least.
What's wrong with their positioning?
They're in the open, I guess.
And they're...
They're staggered, maybe a little bit.
Okay, what's wrong with your positioning? Like,
I'm
in
all-
general? Not right now.
In general, I'm like consistently just like not playing around cover,
And...
and I'm in the team fights too much.
Yeah, and what was Mei just doing?
Doing what I did.
Yeah, now, Mei should be in this team fight more than you should, right? Because it's Mei, short range, things like that. But this is way too aggressive for a Mei, right? Your team's not even close. So if I was this Mei, I'd be right-clicking. Like,
Okay.
But, but yeah, that's a good example. Like, you see things like that, and you're like, oh, I never do that. But
Oh.
is that really? But you do, exactly. So this is good. That's fine, right? At least we have cover now. There you go, forced out Wraith again.
Strength from nature.
How do you feel about that TP? Also,
Um,
Sigma's face. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a jump scare. I think it was okay. Actually, no, never mind. I don't. I
Let
think
me
was
play it
just-
back. You tell me.
Okay.
60 seconds remaining.
Oh, yeah, it was not a good TP. I thought I could try like teleporting into Suzu him, but yeah, I don't think it was that good to like go in.
What do you think's wrong with it? Be specific.
There's like I'm teleporting into a bunch of enemies, and that's no good.
Yeah, that's about it. And you said you want to teleport to Suzu.
Yeah.
Just throw it at him.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It's a bad habit of mine to just like teleport and then Suzu.
It's a bad habit of a lot of Kirikos. So don't beat yourself up. I
Okay.
see it all the time. I still do it. Okay.
Okay.
Now, sometimes it's the call, If you're like way over here and your Sigma's about to die, I mean, I would still say probably not, because you can relatively know that the team's going to be right there, right? Because in game you can't see the blue, obviously. So probably not a good call, but oftentimes it might be, right? Like if my BAP was dying, yeah, TP and Suzu, you know, save him. So it's not always a bad option, but right now you're going to die if you TP. And if you don't, well, it's because, I mean,
The team's bad.
yeah, the enemy team's bad. I'm going to be honest. So, but we don't want to play to just abuse the fact that they're bad. We want to play consistently through all ranks.
Oh, and I died because of that TP.
Yep. I mean, it's that simple. So, because you could have done everything you wanted to do from exactly where you were standing. You could heal Sigma, and you could throw Suzu at him. You know what's funny? He's still alive.
Oh,
He's still alive. Like,
I see.
so that was a feed. Like, hardcore feed.
Oh,
But it's okay.
Let me balance you out.
What do you think about our positioning?
it's a little better since I'm playing with cover, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it could be like positioned up on high ground to get more vision. But yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, and why do you have the freedom to position on high ground?
It's because I have a BAP this time.
Yeah.
And not a Mercy.
Exactly. So you could play over here. You know, if Kiriko wasn't here, and if she is, well, force her out, get her out of this position. You know,
Okay.
like don't be afraid to fight for this position. Now, it depends. How confident are you in your 1v1 skills? You know, if you're not confident in it, don't do it. I mean, unless you want to develop that skill, which with Kiriko it might be good to develop.
Okay.
So it really depends. Like, if I was doing this, let's say I'm coming back from spawn, and I'm like, okay, I want to take an off angle. I'm going to run out this direction rather than this direction, right?
Yep.
Because that would be my first thought, you know? Like, I'm walking out of spawn. I'm like, okay, I have a Baptiste. I want to take an angle. I'm going to go this way.
Okay.
As soon as I see Kiriko, I could be like, I'm going to try and fight her and get this position. Or if I'm not feeling confident, then I'll go back to my team and find out from there.
Okay.
You know? So it just depends. But it probably doesn't hurt to develop that skill. But this is an angle. You know, this is pretty good. You can see quite a bit here. You still hear your team. You have decent cover with the forklift. High ground, also a good position. You know, probably even better. You can see more. And you don't have to peek the Hanzo, because you could just go like this.
Oh, yeah, I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So these things are easy to see now, but they're hard to implement in game. So don't be frustrated with it. It's going to take practice.
Okay.
So, and we'll talk about that at the end of the coaching session. Yeah. See your Sigma forcing out resources?
Yep.
You see you forcing out resources? That's pretty good. What'd you force out?
I think just like I actually don't know what I forced out here.
Don't overcomplicate it. What did you just do?
Oh, I forced out the Suzu in a way, I guess.
You killed her.
Yeah. Oh.
You forced out the entirety of Kiriko.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't overthink it. She's dead.
Oh.
Good job.
Okay.
Now they don't have healing. Now they don't have Suzu. Now she doesn't have Swift Step. She's dead.
Oh, okay.
Good job. You know, like, and you know what's funny is you took the off angle that we talked about.
Oh.
Look at your positioning.
Oh,
Not bad.
I see.
Not great, but not bad. What's not great about this?
I'm still like in the open because I have to like walk back to take cover.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So just a tad bit, a little bit more back, but this is great.
Okay.
What's up?
Like, and that kill on Kiriko is gonna win you the fight. They're down on support. That's bad.
10 seconds remaining.
Psh, you're killing me. You're actually killing me, dude.
What?
You over here like, oh, my mechanics aren't that good.
I mean,
You seeing this?
but
You're killing it. Look at that. You killed the Reaper. I don't care what the kill feed says. Look at this. You tell me May killed him. Nah. Look at this. 1, 2. That's 2 headshots. You just dinked on him. May finishes him off. I mean, you're doing great. Okay. Come on now. My mechanics are bad. Oh my goodness. All right. So I don't think we need to really look at another one because we did talk about angles a little bit. So I think we're good to stop there. So let's. I'm gonna stop the stream, and then I'm going to move my Discord over because we're gonna write some notes.
All right, sounds good.
All right. What is the biggest thing that we need to work on?
Positioning.
Wait, why? I'm having a stroke about spelling. Okay, positioning.
Yep.
What about it?
Like play around cover and take off angles, and not play in the team fights.
Don't be in team fight. Be a part, right?
Yep.
Of the team fight. All right. So I'm gonna send you this. Now, the goal I'm looking for is I want you to be able to read this and know exactly what it means, but not just today, tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. I want you to be able to read it and know exactly what we're talking about. So if I need to change the way that I word it, you just let me know.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
So you think this is fine? So cover
Yeah.
usage?
Yep.
Right? Off angles? Now, I might take out off angles because I would like to... I might just elaborate on that because it's not just always take off angles.
Okay.
Right? So when should we take off angles? So let's write off angles. What's some things we want to think about when we're taking an off angle?
Like, what's our other support and what's the enemy team comp?
Okay. The enemy team comp. So, and what are we looking for in the enemy team comp?
Like, if there's snipers or dive heroes, and then, yeah.
Okay. And then what are we looking for in our other support?
Like if it's high healing or low healing.
Okay. So, what about that?
Like, it has like a high healing output, like Vap or Ana, or someone like Mercy or Lucio.
Right.
Brick.
I meant what about the sentence? Sorry.
Oh. Yeah, that's perfect.
So, off angles, right? We're talking about what is the other support and what is the enemy team comp. So, we're looking for snipers or dive and high healing support on your team. You want me to edit it so it says that on your team, or do you think that you're good with
I
that?
think I should be good with that, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure so that this is a resource you can go back and look at.
Okay, yeah,
So,
that's fine.
and then let's let me think. Your damage is really good. We talked about off angles. I want to write our positioning checklist.
Okay, that's
What's our positioning checklist?
cover, healing, and damage. Like, if you have cover, if you can heal your team, and if you can damage the enemy.
Perfect. How's that look?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay. So I really think that that's all you need to work on. And I don't want you to worry too much about off angles because I don't want you to get too overwhelmed. Now, if it's something you think you can handle, go for it,
Yeah.
right? You should be off angling against Kiriko. Great. But my biggest low-hanging fruit for your gameplay is definitely going to be your positioning. So I really want you to focus on that.
Okay.
Now, your off angling is positioning, but I want you to focus on the big, broad part of positioning, right? Which is going to be your positioning checklist. So cover, healing your team, damage.
Alright.
Okay. So now you can think about all of these things, but it just, at least to me, and this is what I found is effective for most people, you want to be, when you go into a game, I want you to work on one thing. So you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna go into this game. What are you gonna work on? You're gonna work on positioning. Okay, what about it? Well, I want to make sure I have cover usage. Okay, so this whole game, you better have good cover usage.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Then you go, okay, well, what can I still heal my team? Sure. Can I deal damage? Sure. Okay, checklist. Then you're going to keep practicing that. You're going to drill it. Tomorrow, you play a game, positioning, cover, heal team, damage.
Yep.
Right? You're going to drill that in your head until you're doing it automatically.
Okay.
And I don't want you to practice it for a week and then just move on to something else. Okay?
Yep.
I need you to practice this for a long time. Like I can't stress to you how much like this is important. And a lot of people miss this because they'll practice it for a couple days and then be like, "Oh, I'm fine, I did it." But then I'll do a VOD review again and they did not fix it.
Oh, yeah, I see.
You'd be surprised how many times this happened. So, make sure you're practicing good, right? This is part of your training schedule. And you said, at least a couple hours a day. That's perfect. But make sure that those couple hours are focused practice. You're not just jumping on playing. You have an idea of what you're practicing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does. Thank you.
Okay. And then one last thing. Well, there's a couple things actually. But when you go into a game, I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Can you practice your positioning and still lose the game?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't be frustrated if you lose.
Yep.
Now I know that's hard. I mean, you've seen me get frustrated if you've joined a stream or seen any of my videos.
Oh
It
yeah.
happens, right? I go through my own problems, but don't be frustrated about it. Just make sure that you're practicing and you're positioning. That's it.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright.
One last thing is, did you learn stuff?
Yes.
Okay, and are you coming away from this coaching session with something to work on and improve on in your gameplay?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. That's all I want to hear. And then finally, if you want to, it's totally up to you. I have a review section in my Discord.
Okay.
I'd love it if you left a review, but it's up to you. I'm not going to force you to do that.
Got you.
All right. If you have any questions, let me know. You can always message me. I'm not always free because I'm busy, but if I have the opportunity, we can sit down on a call, maybe look at a quick game, like a couple of team fights or something like that, and have some follow-up. Okay?
Alright.
All right. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is incredibly helpful.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I'm glad to hear that.
Alright. Yeah. Have a good one, man.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye.